everyone, this is Jim Berenger here, Full Press Hockey. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below. We're back talking about the Montreal Canadiens and what a week the Montreal Canadiens have had. We've documented it last year. Myself and David Calabretta have talked about the Montreal Canadiens and last year how they needed to play meaningful hockey, maybe not make the playoffs, but be competitive and not be out of the season by December or January. As Jared Book of Habs on the Price stated, in our first episode way back in August of last year, foreshadowing the season for the Montreal Canadiens. They make the moves to get Alexander Carrier, Patrick Laine makes an impact, Lane Hudson, as myself and David Calabretta documented, wins the Calder Trophy. He was the favorite to do it. And the Habs, did they overachieve? Maybe, but they make the playoffs and they set up this season to be the year that they need to make the playoffs and should be making the playoffs in a very tough Atlantic division because the Florida Panthers, as we've documented, no Matthew Tkachuk till at least December, maybe January. Alexander Barkov is out until the playoffs. He may be out the whole year. Now Dmitry Kulikov is down for the rest of the season, 5 months after having surgery on an upper body injury. Thomas Nosek is out. So their depth is being tested. The Canadiens are primed and ready to make a splash in the Atlantic Division this year. Jeff Gorton, the executive vice president of Montreal Canadiens, his general manager, Kent Hughes, has done a remarkable job building this franchise from the bottom up. Look, we all know the run that they made in 2021 of the Stanley Cup final, that aging core, that group of veterans to get Carey Price's Stanley Cup. They just ran out of steam against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Price didn't have a great final. They bounced out in 5 games. The Lightning go back-to-back in the crazy COVID bubble Stanley Cup final. That was 2021. All right, so there's that. Then they dismantle the team, sell off pieces. Arturi Lehkonen goes to Colorado, so on and so on. They make the changes. No more Mark Bergevin. Jeff Gorton comes in. He gets fired in New York because the expectations in New York were blown out of proportion by the owner. And he's just crazy. And look, we know James Dolan, what he is. But again, when the Rangers were making the COVID playoff and probably weren't going to be a playoff team, Jeff Gorton was doing things the right way. He goes to Montreal, hires the right guy, drafts the right players. Cole Caulfield's there already. You got Nick Suzuki. What a trade for Max Pacioretty, part of that. You're bringing in Yaroslav Slavkovsky, Ivan Demidov, Lane Hudson, obviously. They make the trade for Kirby Dach. They make the splash for Patrick Laine. Alex Newhook is there. Each year they've done something in the summer to show you this team is primed, set up for the next season. Now they acquired Noah Dobson to shore up their back end. This is why Jeff Gorton and Kent Hughes were rewarded with 5-year extensions by owner Jeff Molson. Oh, by the way, they just signed Lane Hudson to an 8-year deal, $8.85 million on an AAV. A remarkable team-friendly deal considering Luke Hughes in New Jersey, considering Jackson Lacombe in Anaheim signed for $9 million. Noah Dobson was at $9.5 million AAV. Documented it all summer, TSN 690, here on Full Press Hockey as well. We talked about it even with the trade that had happened. Could Hudson go over the $10 million mark? He wants to win. He wanted to win. He bought into what Jeff Gorton and Kent Hughes were selling about taking less to be successful and to be a consistent Stanley Cup contender. That's what the Montreal Canadiens are building. A great core signed through 2030-31 season, similar to that Florida Panthers team. Guys taking less to stay. Again, we can get into semantics about taxes in different countries and all that stuff. But the Canadiens did the contract in such a way where he gets a lot of signing bonus money, helps with the taxes for Hudson to offset all that other stuff. But the Canadiens are primed and set up. They have a great young core. You saw what they did against Seattle, the bounce back. Ivan Demidov, there's a reason he's a favorite to win a Calder Trophy this year. The balanced attack, right? Zachary Bolduc, what a pickup that was. You trade for Logan Mailloux. I think it's a good hockey trade for both teams, but Bolduc documented it, multiple times. You look at what he brings. He can go up and down your lineup, can be a top 6 guy, can be a mid, bottom 6 guy, brings balance and versatility to the lineup. He's off to that hot start. He's a great young player. Jeff Gorton has loved him since the draft when he was on NHL Network. He's had his eye on him. So that's a Jeff Gorton type player. You just look at how this lineup is balanced throughout. Obviously, that top line. But if, Doc can get going with Demidov and Newhook, that's huge for this team. Jake Evans is still there. The penalty kill they're working on. The power play's got to start clicking again. Look, they got 2 units, but they were able to get some things done against Seattle, show some signs. The Bell Center was rocking. I mean, what a great tribute to Ken Dryden. The Montreal Canadiens always do home openers the right way. But if you look at this team and how they're set up, Slavkovsky's new extension kicks in this year. Caden Gooley's new extension kicks in this year. This is when it's time. Jared Book, Habs on the prize, said this was the year they needed to make the playoffs. Everybody saw the trajectory. Make the playoffs. This is it. Now I got one playoff round. This is the next phase is hard. Can you be a top 3 team in the division? You might be. Could be this year. Is Sam Montembeault the guy? Is Jacob Dovich the backup? We know Jacob Fowler's coming. Could they look to add another goaltender? That's something. They're always looking for another center. They want a left shot center. They need that. But the Canadiens have their young core set up perfectly. Again, like we said, Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky, Caden Gooley, Noah Dobson, Lane Hudson. All these guys are extended. You feel bad for a guy like David Reinbacher. Maybe this would have been the year he could have shown what he had in the NHL. He gets hurt again. Mike Matheson continues to just be steady Eddie back there. Again, what type of contract does that look like? Do they want to extend him? You would think so because he's a veteran. You don't want guys punching outside their weight class, especially when you want to be a consistent playoff team and show that you can win. We don't know what Reinbacher is right now. They have the assets to make deals. This team is really good. It's hungry. They love the way they play. Martin St. Louis is a great coach. And again, these guys took a chance on Martin St. Louis to be a head coach. He was a perfect fit for this group, understands it. They took chances on players, similar to what we see in Florida, building things the right way. And again, it's a tough market in Montreal. The success lives and breathes with that city. But Jeff Gorton and Kent Hughes basically said, hey, guys, it's going to take some time. The expectations are going to be a lot low. There's going to be a lot of losing. You're going to just have to accept it. And they did. You felt the pressure turning up a little bit last year because when are you going to get out of that rebuild phase? Well, they're getting out of that rebuild phase now. They're ahead of schedule, the Buffalo Sabres, ahead of schedule, the Detroit Red Wings. This is how you do it right. Draft, develop, and add the right pieces. And the Canadiens are not getting away from drafting and developing. Michael Hague is down there. Great player, young player. So the future is bright for the Montreal Canadiens. Things are done the right way in Montreal. You look at it, the success this team has had each year. Again, very tough place to play in Montreal. Passionate hockey fans. Bell Center, one of the best places to watch a game, if not the best place. Again, expectations, temper them. Last couple of years, you knew there was going to be some growing pains, going to be some losing. You accept it. The fans were like, okay, this is what we need. Now, the excitement, the expectations are high, playoffs. This team is right there. Again, you add a couple of pieces, but the management group has done things the right way. They keep things within their salary structure. They push the team. The players are buying in, and you have great leadership. Nick Suzuki, great coaching. This is a great organization for a reason. The Montreal Canadiens are back. And they're better than ever, and they're going to challenge for the playoffs. They could challenge for top 3 in the division, but it's done the right way. When you have cameras behind everything, the Crave series, the Amazon series, the behind-the-scenes stuff of what's been going on, A-plus work for the Montreal Canadiens. And again, Jeff Gorton and Kent Hughes done things the right way. And as Sam Rosen said, this team is a team to be reckoned with. So watch out for the Montreal Canadiens this year. This has been Jim Berenger, Full Press Hockey. Again, subscribe to the channel. Click that notify button. Like the video. Comment below. We'll be back again real soon. Take care and enjoy the hockey season.